Okay. So today what I want to do is I want to focus on the ecosystem. So I'm keeping these to 30 minutes so that it, doesn't go over too long. But one thing I want people to understand with this project, when we talked yesterday about minting the miners and how that move quest, when you mint those miners, has two, it has two roles. One is to pay a commission, which is done in real time, instantly on the blockchain. And then the second is it takes the remaining 60% of the move quest used to mint those miners and it returns it to the vault for future mining once the 21 million are in circulation. And this way it allows people to mine even beyond the year 2059. Now, with the ecosystem, once you've minted those miners, a lot of people will ask, well, how does this sustain itself? If it doesn't have, new users coming in, how does it begin to sustain itself? Now, right now, the MoveQuest token is down to like, I don't know, around $50. And you have to understand that when there's a demand for the token, that means that people are going to the exchange, they're buying the MoveQuest, and then they come and they mint the miners. Now, once we have moved into the rebranded app, they'll use MoveQuest to unlock the mining dock. They'll use MoveQuest to create challenges. You'll use MoveQuest to join challenges, to leash your miners, to create events, to buy the mystery boxes, to buy loot, to buy uh, mining boosts, to go through the gamification, those arenas, to get up to that Hall of Fame, any of the different features that we have within the app. So to sustain itself, we know that when we get to anywhere from 50 to 100,000 miners in the mining dock, meaning people are mining at that level, 50,000 to 100,000, that MoveQuest is going to lock for minting those Lennies. So for example, today, I think it takes like 0.9 MoveQuest, so almost one. Let's say we were at that level already, which we're at about almost 33,000 miners in the mining dock. So we're getting closer. It would lock at one, let's say one MoveQuest, that's what it is. It would lock there. And then as MoveQuest goes up, so does the cost for those Lenny miners. So if MoveQuest was $100, now instead of MoveQuest costing 50, it would cost you $100 to mint a Lenny miner. That's important to the ecosystem because it would be removing even more MoveQuest from circulation because the price of that Lenny will now continue to increase. So as time goes on, it will still be able to remove 60% of the MoveQuest used for minting those miners. So you're equaling out that supply and demand, and making sure that there's that scarcity of that token. When you come into the ecosystem and you evolve those miners, that is upgrading your miners from a Lenny to a primary to an ultra to an alpha to an omega. That USDT, it has a couple of different roles, but it has to buy MoveQuest. This project never sells MoveQuest. The evolution uses the USDT. If it used the MoveQuest, it would defeat the purpose because then the evolution would have to sell MoveQuest to get the USDT. And so now you've got the project that is competing with the market value because it would be dropping down the market value every time it had to sell the MoveQuest. And that's why it uses USDT for the evolution, because now it can go and buy that MoveQuest, which will help to either stabilize the market, increase the market value. It has to buy it. So it kind of has a correction mechanism that's built in place. It buys that MoveQuest and then it pairs it to the remaining USDT and it adds it as liquidity. Now you only have to evolve your miners, right? The one time. So how does it continue to stabilize itself? When you submit that proof of physical activity, there's a fee that's converted into MoveQuest or USDT. That's the AVAX that you spend, and that provides liquidity. When we reach that 25,000 mark, we have 25,000 users who are mining with those 8 miners. It's providing about $25 million a month to the liquidity pool, just to give you an idea. That is just on the submissions. Now, as the MoveQuest token increases in market value, the fees that you pay to submit will also increase. There's a algorithm that will be going into play this week. In fact, it's actually done now. They're just testing it. So you'll probably see those changes in the next day or two once we're certain that it's working properly. And so the Lennies will pay a lower fee, the Omegas will pay a higher fee, and the ones in between also, it will be relative to the amount of rewards that they're receiving. But it stabilizes that liquidity pool. When you claim your tokens, we're changing the fee structure on that. Remember, I told you guys that we were going to talk about this today. It's kind of got its own built-in mechanism, and you guys will start to see this. It will charge, and you guys don't freak out on me when I tell you this. So it is, if you claim in 10 days, it will only cost you $1. But if you claim daily, it will cost you $10 per day. So you want to wait your 10 days and claim, it will only cost you $1 to claim your tokens. So those who are claiming daily and selling daily will pay more to claim those tokens. Why? Because they need to supply more to the liquidity because they're selling more on a daily basis. And so that's what this ecosystem does. It balances that out. On your submissions, it'll be relative to the miner that you're mining with. So I'm going to look at I'm not going to show you my algorithm just yet today in case it has to be, anything has to change, which we'll know by the end of the day to the, tomorrow. So let me go find this just so I can give you an idea. So right now, as long as all the testing comes out properly, a Lenny miner would be paying roughly 19 cents per miner to submit. It's about $1.50 a day. Okay, where a primary would be paying 30 cents, 38 cents, I'm sorry. And then an ultra 56 cents, an alpha 75 cents, omega $1.50. Okay, so it goes up based on the mining power. Why? Because your rewards are higher. So your submission fee is higher on those miners. So basically, every time we hit an incremental level on the market value of the token, those fees will begin to increase. They need to increase because the market value of the token is increased. And so you have to have more liquidity provided. And so you get that from the in-app fees from the community engaging within the app. And so that's how the fee structure is going to work. The claiming, those that hold it for 10 days, hold their MoveQuest for 10 days, it'll just cost you, that $1 to claim those tokens. So it will save you money, but at the same time, it'll also slow down on the overselling of the tokens. If somebody wants to claim every day, they can pay the $10 fee to claim on a daily basis. And it just contributes to the liquidity because that AVAX is converted into MoveQuest, which means it has to go to the exchange, buy the MoveQuest, bring it back, pair it to USDT, and inject the liquidity. That's both the submissions and the claims. Challenges, we'll be releasing those when we do the rebrand of the app. And so when you create a challenge, you'll pay an in-app fee using the MoveQuest. If you join a challenge, you'll pay an in-app fee using the MoveQuest. If you are a creator of a challenge and you have made a profit on that challenge, you'll pay a percentage of that profit, and that all becomes liquidity. It's the same thing with the events. Now, with the leasing of the miners, this is a huge piece in the project's ecosystem, just so everybody understands. When we lock that MoveQuest, let's say it locks at one MoveQuest per miner, right? And let's say you remember it takes 16 Lennies to get to 8 Omega miners. So let's just say the token is at $100 and it takes one MoveQuest. Okay, so now you're looking at $100 per miner. So now you're looking at $1,600 to mint those Lennies to get to those 8 Omegas versus right now, the $800. MoveQuest gets up to $500 per token. You're minting 16 of those to get to the 8 Omegas, and it would cost you $8,000 just to mint those 16 Lennies. And then the evolution, okay, of course, it increases in cost as well. as the market value of the token increases. Why? Because it has to stabilize the market value that the community has driven that token price to. So the leasing is very important here because it will become too expensive for everybody to just come in and mint those miners and evolve them. And they'll be able to lease them from those of you that have the extras. And so now the community is still growing, even though they didn't have to come in and mint those miners. And so that allows the community to still increase. It allows people to still engage with the project without actually having to mint a miner. And at the same time, you're able to, make profits on leasing those miners because you're renting them out. Whatever your rental fee is, you get paid that. But then again, all of this is creating that liquidity. So any of the other crypto projects that you've been in, it's the community who on an individual level provides that liquidity. You go to the exchange and you buy both tokens. So in our case, you would go and buy MoveQuest, you would go and buy USDT, you would pair them and inject those in as liquidity. There's a problem with that because the community, if you're adding that liquidity on a one-on-one level, you can also pull that liquidity whenever you want to. And so if you have somebody who likes a project on the short term and they come in, let's say they add a couple $100,000 or $1 million to a liquidity pool, when they're done playing the game on that project, they're going to pull that liquidity. They don't care. They're not the creator of that project. They were just there to make a profit on being liquidity pool providers. When they want to take that money and move on to something else, they pull the liquidity. And then you just start to see this domino effect. Now you have all these other people who have provided liquidity to a project who begin to pull their liquidity. And now you've got your community of people who start to freak out, wondering what is going on, where's all the liquidity going? And they start to sell their tokens. And before you know it, the project is gone. And so we don't have those pieces here from the engagement within the application, from evolving and unlocking mining doc slots, and from submitting your proof of physical activity, from claiming your token, your mining rewards, creating those challenges, joining the challenges, creating, not creating, but leasing out those miners, working through the arenas, going into the Hall of Fame, the mystery boxes and the boosts and all the different things that you can do inside this app when we move into the rebrand. All of that provides the liquidity. 90% of everything the community does within the application, it stays with the project and it becomes liquidity. And so hopefully that helps to understand how this ecosystem works. So every time you're pushing a button and making a call to a contract, you are actually providing liquidity, but you're not providing it one-on-one by yourself. It's collectively as a whole from the community, which provides the stability to the project. So I was just on another Zoom and was explaining, give you an example, 25,000 people who are mining with 8 miners is going to provide about $25 million a month in liquidity just from submitting. That's just submissions. We haven't even reached 25 million in liquidity yet. And that's what the submissions would do with 25,000 people mining with 8 miners submitting their proof of physical activity. That's not including any of the other features within the application. So while the token may go up and down, this really hasn't gone down that much when you look at the big picture, the long-term vision of this project and what it does. And so that's why, like right now, yes, we're building the community. That's critical. It's critical in any crypto project. That peer-to-peer community is what drives, that project. But we don't go to the community and ask you to provide that liquidity like all of the other projects do. That's not how the liquidity is generated. It's generated through the engagement of the project within the ecosystem. So I'm hoping that all of you understand that. And honestly, I got done with that explanation 10 minutes before I thought I would. So I don't really have anything. What I'm trying to do is break this down into little pieces so that you guys understand how all of this works together. So we've gone over the minting and the role it plays, the ecosystem in the role that it plays. And then what I want to go over tomorrow is how liquidity pools work and how you guys can understand basically how they work. Okay, what that buying and selling trends are, what that buying selling volume is, how to read the charts and kind of understand what's going on. Many of you may already understand this, but there's a lot of people who don't. so I can kind of show you how all that works so you understand what's actually going on, how to read the tokens that are in the different contracts, the wallets that they're holding them, so you can kind of get a good idea of where the value is in this token just by looking at a couple of contracts and the exchange. So that's what we're going to be going over tomorrow for those of you who are interested in that. So Herschel, we can open it up for Q&A. I've got about 20 minutes. I have another call I have to be on. Another
Well,
Zoom. Today's been busy for Zooms, but does that hopefully help people understand the ecosystem and how the ecosystem is working?
right. One thing I want to ask before we move forward, were you sharing screen or thought you were sharing screen?
No, I don't want to show
Okay,
the algorithm yet
okay,
because
okay.
we're still testing it. And in case I have to make any changes, I don't want somebody holding me to it.
Gotcha. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. All right. Ken, you have anything? If not, I will go ahead and let me see here. Michael Alexander, you have a question?
Yes, yeah, thank you.
Sure.
Thanks for the info, Glenn. I appreciate it. So I have a
Yep.
question about reaching, focusing or being more efficient with our marketing. Meaning, what is and I have an idea already, like who I need to kind of speak to, but I just want, a little feedback. So I personally got eight Omegas. I got another 16 Lennies, and I'm in it for the long term. I understand the bigger picture, the value, and I'm not worried about the fluctuation in price day in and day out. But then I have some people that are in my circle that are like, hey, I could do this, and like I could make $60 a day or $70 a day, and then I don't see them exactly as they have, let's say, 6,000 on the side to invest in Omegas, but then they have expectations like, hey, I'm going to make my living, per month. I don't see them as the best target because they're looking at the immediate gratification if they see the token, go down 50% temporarily, right? So I just wanted feedback. Who do you think the ideal audience would be for like the larger investment, like 8 Omegas, like kind of something I'm
Well,
doing? I'm
I do think it is the person who is looking to supplement their income, but I think it's the way that we position it too. Like people need to
mhm,
understand this is a new project. And so it needs, every pool that gets started, it needs to reach a certain level in the community. And so I think it's really one, I don't know that a lot of people really understand economies on a whole, or
mhm,
you know what I mean? They just see the extra money and okay, I'm
mhm,
taking it out now and it's going to pay my electric
mhm.
bill, which that
Yeah.
is good, but it's like, what do you want? Do you want it to pay your electric bill or do you want to be able to invest in that electric company? What is it
Mhm,
you want to do with your money? And I think really it's about getting people into the proper mindset. And yes, I
mhm,
do think a lot of it has to do with the marketing. And I'm probably not the best person at that when it comes to creating uh the message in the marketing. So if somebody has that strength, we are creating some different marketing pieces in the new rebranded app. So that would be welcomed. But you are right.
uh-huh,
It's really about how the message is sent and
mhm,
how well it's presented and then received. If people are looking at this as just, hey, this is immediate money right now today, they're not
yeah,
seeing the long-term vision. And I think we need to be able to explain to people while it's making this on a daily basis, if you hold on to it and you let it grow and you let it become stable at a higher market value, you can turn yourself into a very
uh-huh,
wealthy person. Do you want to just
yeah,
pay your bills or do you want to make yourself wealthy? What is it you're looking to do? And I think marketing, even your biggest crypto enthusiasts, even your people that really understand crypto anymore because of the way the industry is, you got to get in quick and get out quick. And that's just the mindset of people. So I think proving to people that we have a different economy, we have a different system here, and we have a
uh-huh,
system that you can confidently, hold on to those tokens and let them grow in market
uh-huh,
value. Because
uh-huh,
right now, in the current industry, the current frame of it, you're dumb if you don't get in and get out fast. You know what I'm saying?
uh-huh,
Because none
yeah,
of these projects have that ecosystem. So I think it's really about educating them in what this
okay,
really is.
okay, all right, perfect. Yeah, because I wanted the feedback because if I was to do promotion myself, let's say use some AI, text to video to create
Hmm.
cartoons, explain. all of it has to be done with the right target audience, because if you create a
Right.
poor audience where they just want immediate gratification and they're let down, then they are going to start a bad reputation about what they got into. Oh, I got in, I was making 60 a day, now I'm making, like, so that's one thing that I want to feedback. And that's about it. And then I just, I wanted to ask you, what do you think about a AI agent that could basically understand everything to do with MoveQuest and give people a voice response, like a chat bot, where they could ask any question and everything is already learned? I was thinking about that too, where instead of a person reading about it, or they could actually ask
Hmm.
the bot, what about this? What about that? And the bot's already trained everything in one day. I started that actually program myself. I was testing. So I'm
Yeah, I
thinking that
should
would be
connect you
better.
with my son because he's also been trying to work on, he's into the AI stuff too, and that's what he's
Yeah,
been saying. You need this
yeah, yeah,
AI bot. Maybe the two of you could work because I know he's been working
yeah,
on
yeah,
it too. And maybe if the two of you are working together with that, you
yeah,
probably could come up with something amazing. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I've been working on a trading bot for 3 years, but I've been working on this voice bot, which me and my partner have, and we already tested it on GetBit Mining and did the whole. I tested it yesterday. I asked every question about GetBit Mining, it answered right away. So that way, if
Wow.
somebody like wants, and even we can actually train the bot on people that are, like I heard, people are using Fiverr people to create negative right, like rapport
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
the program. We could even train the bot to counter any any um, um, any rumors. So we basically list
Yeah.
all the rumors. I would train my bot in one day, everything. And then we basically can, every time there's marketing going on, we say, if you have anything to do with rumors, or we have our own robot that can answer anything you want as far as negativity, rumors, whatever it is. And people are just speaking to it and they're not reading, because people are we live in an age of instant gratification, right? People want their
Exactly.
answers right away. Or if they'll just go on a YouTube video, watch somebody that put something together for $10 in Fiverr, and they believe it, you know? So I think
Yeah. 100%.
that's one way to counter what's out there, is use our own AI and technology to counter any negative pressure, negative social pressure out there. So I talked with you before. My wife was doing the video stuff. I was on the call with you, but I also work
Oh,
with AI,
okay.
yeah, I work with AI as
I thought
well.
you sounded familiar. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm not sure who connected you and I together,
That
but
was yeah. Anyways,
so yeah,
um,
let's hook up again and talk more
yeah,
about this and see what we can do.
yeah. I'll reach out and I can show you actually example of something I already did training for the bot
Okay, awesome.
on your site, and you can practice speaking to it back and forth. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be
So
great.
that's done, and that way we can kind of use technology to counter negativity or speed up the learning curve of people really fast. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Miss Carrie, go right ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, go right ahead.
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks, Lynette. Thanks, Herschel. That AI sounds so cool. Anyway, two questions, hopefully quick. Yesterday, Lynette, on your presentation, it was awesome. You happened to open up, I don't know, Snow Trace, and there was virtual activity device, and I screamed because I thought I was fraud. There was some fraud because all of a sudden I had 15 virtual activity devices in my wallet. And I checked the address. I went back to, it's the same address as yours that you had pulled up and that was connected to MoveQuest. What are those? And
That was a smart contract, and I'm not sure what you were looking at. They wouldn't have been inside your app, right?
no, they're inside my MetaMask. I have 15 VADs that just one day show.
Those, hmm. You'd have to send me your wallet address. Let me look at those. I don't know.
Okay. How do I, yeah, because you said, oh, they already are sending those out. And I went, what? Like maybe I got something.
No, I don't know what even you're talking about. So I'd have to see it first. You'd have to send me your wallet address. Send it to me. Let's see. Who do you know that knows me that can get it to me?
I don't know, Herschel?
I mean, I'm on WhatsApp. Yeah, send it to Herschel. Let him send me the wallet address so I can look at what you're talking about.
Okay. And the second question, did you have a third party audit your programmers, so there's no back doors? Because I was with a company where the programmers had a back door and sucked
Yeah,
everything.
there is nothing like that here. I only allow one developer to ever touch the code. Even if we have other people that work on something, they never get access to our code. Waleed is the only person that ever integrates any kind of code. He's the only one who has access to the code. There are no backdoors, and we don't use third parties. All of our code is our own, so we don't have to worry about anything like that. I mean, we are button tight, secure.
Love it.
So
I
yeah,
figured.
there's no back doors here.
Awesome. I figured you had already thought that out long ago, but it was worth a question. So thank you so much. Appreciate you taking my questions. And I will
Yeah.
send that wallet address to Herschel, if that's okay.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hi. I have a question. You mentioned how important the leasing was for the project. And I was wondering how you see the balance between the number of miners that are available to be leased versus the demand for those leasing. Like, do you have a number of how do you even know how many people have available to lease versus how many people might sign up who can't afford a future miner? And
The only way I would know is if I went to the blockchain and looked to see how many miners are in circulation that actually are not in the mining dock currently. What I
yeah,
can tell you is that we have 167,000 miners that have been minted, and we only have 32,000 that are in the mining dock.
okay. Wow.
Mhm.
Okay. And then I have another thing. Sometimes I claim early. I never claim daily, but I claim early and I claim to upgrade, especially if you have one of the specials or it's cheaper for the next few days. Then I
Mhm.
may claim, shy of the 10 days just to take advantage of those discounts. Is there a penalty for claiming anything below 10 days, or is there any variation there?
Well, we had talked about, bringing it down as it got closer to the 10 days, but we really have to, well, first of all, we won't be running like specials anyway. What we did was the evolution contract had triggered the increase on the evolving. And we are generally, we won't even give the public notice because if the algorithm says, okay, price increase based on buying, the buy volume, the sell volume, or the number of miners that are in circulation, the miners that are docking, what is the liquidity pool, what is the market value of the token? There's so many things that play into this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Generally, it's just a matter of pushing a button and saying, okay, approve it. And, we had several people in the community that said, oh, we really need to give people, a couple of days notice that this is going to happen. But everybody needs to understand that this actually works in real time. It's all managed by smart contracts. So when you make and earn and mine, you get it instantly and in real time, but the algorithms also work instantly and in real time. So we extended the uh courtesy of letting everybody know that it was going to go through its first increase on the evolution.
Yeah.
Then what happened is, these hurricanes and things that went through, and, a lot of people were kind of bummed out because they missed the opportunity to take advantage of it. So what we did was we backed it down, but it's actually going to be going back to its original market value on Friday. And from here forward, we won't be doing things like that. So you won't have to worry about, like the taking advantage of, a special or something like that. Because
Yeah.
because it's all managed by these smart contracts, there really aren't any specials. I just happen to reverse it and give
Okay.
people an opportunity. But honestly, so when it comes to your claims, to get back to your question, when you look at anything that has to do with a crypto project, okay, so for example, if you see the market value of a token going down, people will immediately begin to sell on emotion, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they get this fear factor. If we did the same thing, and we started to gear away from what the system is set up to do, and we started to think with our emotions. I'm talking me as a creator. Granted,
Yeah.
I want to help everybody out. I want everybody to do amazing. And if I said, oh, gee, this group of people, they really want to claim because they want to be able to evolve today, then I'm really not doing any service to the other people in the community because everything is created and in place the way it is to create that stability and to keep that market value strong,
Right.
and to make sure the liquidity is strong. So we have to stick with, the algorithm because that is what counters people that sell too fast when the market isn't really demanding it. So let's say we have, I don't know, about 5,300 wallets that are mining and that are submitting. And if, you've got, let's say, 1,000 of those that are claiming every single day, and every single day they're going to the exchange and they're selling that MoveQuest token. They're
Yeah.
not thinking about the rest of the community who's not doing that. And so they have to
Yeah.
pay that higher fee because they are, they're creating an impact on
Yeah.
that market value in that liquidity pool. So they have to contribute to that stabilization or to that liquidity. And so that's why we have this algorithm that's coming into play because this is part of as we're launching this into its final stages, the
Hmm.
submissions, and when you see the market value go up like that and you see the community growing and you watch the Lennies that really aren't making they're not mining as many tokens, obviously, as what a primary ultra alpha or omega is. And you can't expect the Lenny to pay the submission fees that, you know, the same as what an omega is paying and getting more. So they need to contribute less to the ecosystem because they're taking less from the ecosystem. And
Right.
so I had to change that algorithm. And so I have to really stick to it because if I start to think with my head instead of using math and science, then it
Hmm.
doesn't work. So long answer, but need to explain to you why we have to stick to the algorithm. So I guess, like if somebody wanted to upgrade and they needed to sell their MoveQuest tokens, you'd have to wait the 10 days so that you didn't have
Okay.
to pay the $10 a day. And it's in place for a specific reason, and that's to keep it stable. And for people who do sell on a daily basis what they mine, they contribute more to the ecosystem because they're having a bigger impact on the ecosystem on an immediate level than those who are holding. So it's almost like a built-in reward system for people who hold their mined tokens for the 10 days. Because if you cash or, claim them out every single day and convert them into the USDT or whatever you're converting it to, over 10 days will cost that person $100. But the person who holds them for 10, it will only cost
Right.
them $1.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally understand that. I guess I just wish because I haven't sold any outside. I've only sold to upgrade. So I guess
Yep.
I, in my perfect world, wish there was a way to not be penalized for, for using my MQT to upgrade versus sending it out.
It's really not a penalty. Actually, it's actually a very positive thing. And if you had to wait 10 days, it's not like the end of the world because you're still contributing to the stability of that liquidity pool. So you got to look at it in a different way. You know what I mean? It's not penalizing you, it's just providing more stability, to where the project's concerned.
Right.
And for you too, even the longevity for you. And I know it
Right.
may seem trust me, like when the token's back up into the $100 range, you're not going to care if you're paying $10 a day.
I'll be
You know
like
what I mean?
$10, $1,000,000. I don't care. Okay.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep. You're welcome. But that is not in play right now. Just so if you needed to do that, you could do it because it probably won't be into effect, I would guess, until Friday or maybe even Saturday.
All right, let's see here. Huds, go right ahead.
Hi, Herschel and Lynette. I'm from New Zealand. My upline is Linda Jackson and Carl. I only have one
Nice.
question. Trying to pave my way. I understand all the mechanics, the light paper, and that, and I think it's very wonderful. I just want to try and get a number figure on how much like what you were saying yesterday, Lynette, about the 8 miners and the 8 docks, it really piqued my interest. Yeah, would I be able to get some kind of information on how much 8 miners and 8 docks, how much there is now, and also how much wallets? Because I'm starting to see a pattern where, okay, the Lenny's going to go up, and I see the mechanics of the 8 Lennies inside those 8 miners inside the 8 docks, and also there's something with the X amount of wallets. So I'm trying to build a strategy around that so I can pave my way. So when I can sort of not dictate, but see when it's coming, then I can buy certain things like buy more Lennies or start hodling more so I can start improving my strategy. So what I'm
Yes,
asking is
so I can
about,
give you what that is right now if you would like.
thank you.
So currently there are 5,243 wallets submitting. That's as of the 13th, October 13th. So, and then as of today, there was 4,699 Lennies that are docked and mining.
Thank you very
Fi-
much.
Yep, 5,083 primaries. 2,357 ultras. 8,344 alphas. And 11,966 omegas. Now, when I put those numbers into my spreadsheet today, it was at 99.6. So there was still like 0.04 to go through, but docked miners at that time was 32,477.
Thank you very much. It just gives me an idea. So when you're talking about the 50 to 100,000, I was like, oh, okay, I better start looking at that ballpark figure of docking and all that kind of stuff. Thank you very much.
Yep, you're welcome. And right now, I just went and did the look at it. 32,674 is what is docked now. So 32,644. So from this morning when it was at 32,477, today it's increased to 32,674. It takes me a long time to calculate all of them, but that will just give you a little bit of difference. So what's come in just today from people minting more Lennies and moving up.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Lynette, I know you said you had 20 minutes. We got three
Yeah, I
hands.
told him I would be there. I told him I'd be there in 5 minutes. So if we can go through the last 3 questions pretty quickly.
No more hands raised, please. All right, here we go. Go ahead, Lush 2020.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go right
Yes,
ahead.
we can.
Sorry. Quick question. Hi, Lynette. I have my docks all full with omegas, but I have a lot of alphas and some ultras to the side that are not being used. Can I give those to somebody to use until the leasing starts and they give them back to me? At least they'll be submitting and making some money to help them with theirs when the time comes.
So if you were going to do that, so if you transfer them to somebody, right, there's no guarantee, and I mean, unless you know who the people are, but you wouldn't get them back. What I would do if I were you is create a wallet and have them link your wallet
Okay.
to their what they download. That way you can keep those miners in your wallet, right? That you have access to. And
Oh,
so they can still go into the app and they can still submit and they can still claim. When they claim, it would go into a wallet that you're managing, but at least you still maintain, you still keep those miners in your possession.
yeah.
Unless you know
I
who
do
the
that with
person
my husband.
is. Yep.
I
Yep.
like
There
to
you
track
go.
this.
Unless you know who they are and you want to transfer them to them, you know what I mean? And you trust them, but
Oh,
I don't,
I trust them.
yeah,
I figured
then
I
you
would
could
send over a few
transfer them.
alphas to help them get going and make some money so they can up themselves. And when the
Yep.
leasing opens, because I don't know exactly when that will be, at least they're being used and the docking and the fees are coming in. It's helping the ecosystem and it's helping that
Yep.
person. And in the meantime,
100%.
yeah, when it comes, they'll just send them back to me. As long as they can go back and forth, that would
Yep.
be awesome. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. So when you go into, like, if you use your desk, you have to transfer them from your desktop. I don't think, or you can go into your wallet and go use the wallets browser and go to the dashboard of the Web3. And when you see the miner, it'll say There's a little button that says 3D on the right-hand side, and then there's one on the underneath it that says transfer. Just click transfer, paste the wallet you want to transfer it to, and then your wallet will pop up to confirm it because the blockchain is going to charge you a fee. We don't charge you a fee for transferring, but the blockchain does, and then it'll send them to them.
Perfect. All right, Miss Catherine Ritchie, go right ahead.
I just wanted to ask the WhatsApp. I thought WhatsApp had been closed down, and both Lynette and Ken mentioned it yesterday. And so I'd asked about it in the support, but I didn't see a link or how to get back into the WhatsApp channel.
So we personally don't have any WhatsApp groups, but there's different builders that have created WhatsApp groups for their team specific. But as far as like for us, Get Fit Mining, we don't have a WhatsApp group.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because yes, I think in yesterday's call you mentioned the better way to reach you or one of the other
Well,
people.
that's
was
because, yeah, me personally, individually, I don't, you know what I mean? I'm in
okay.
all kinds of groups.
Oh,
but
gotcha.
You can just
Okay.
search my name, Lynette Artin, and I'll show up on WhatsApp. I don't have
Okay.
time to go into multiple channels, you know,
Sure.
like Telegram and
Oh, yeah. I understand. Me either. So, okay. Thank
Yep.
you.
Yep, you're welcome.
All right, let me see. Go right ahead, man. Forget your name because I don't see it here, but go right ahead. Zoom music. Mute. There you go. Okay, try it again. There
I'm
you
sorry, I didn't realize my name wasn't there.
Yeah,
I have
no
a
problem.
what if you decide to wait, like say 15 days to submit? Will it charge you $1 for the first 10 and then $10 for the 5 each the 5 afterwards? Or would it
Okay,
just
so right now I don't know what happened on the Avalanche chain, but there is a bug in the claim contract. So it doesn't matter if you have 10 days or if you have 50 days. If you click claim, it's going to give you all of the days that you have there to claim at that 10-day rate. So once we've already fixed that bug, we just haven't updated it to the app yet. We actually submitted an update for the app today, so we're just waiting on validation. Then what it'll do is if you have 20 days, let's say, it'll give you the first 10 for the $1, and then you'll claim the second 10 for $1. So it'll only do it in groups of 10. You can do it individually. You can do it for less than that, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. But if you have more than 10, it'll just give it to you in groups of 10.
all right, thank you, appreciate it.
Yep, you're welcome.
All right, Miss Lynette, that is it for today.
All
You
right,
are-
all right.
You are free to go. But we will get this recording out to everyone as soon as possible so that you can review it at your own pace. And we'll be back tomorrow again at 4 p.m. Eastern with another segment from the creator. Until then, no call tonight. Again, we want to give everybody time to kind of go through these calls and, marinate, let it marinate a little bit and absorb it and prepare for the next day. So unless Ken or Lynette, you have anything else? If not, we'll sign off.
All right. Nope, I'm good. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Good.
Have a good day.
Good night. Goodbye.
Okay.
Yeah, bye, everybody.